The Honeymoon Phase is a film that had a pretty cool concept, kind of felt Black Mirror-ish, I feel like it could have kind of played as a Black Mirror episode with the concept. The execution of this film, on the other hand, is not Black Mirror quality. I thought that this movie just, I guess, okay. I shouldn't knock the film for the direction it went, because that was the direction the film decided to go, and who am I to say what it should and shouldn't do. But for me personally, while I was watching it, I lost interest in the film because of the directions that it took. I just felt like with the setup, which is that two people who are a brand new married couple go into this, I guess they're a company or scientific research facility or whatever, and they are giving people $50,000 if they can stay in a secure location for like a month and be observed, just living in a house together. And that's all they really have to do. They just have to go and they have to live in this house. They're not allowed to see anybody else. They're not allowed to leave there. They're isolated, but they're just together. And it's like they want to observe the honeymoon phase. They're trying to figure out why people can't stay in the honeymoon phase. Like why, what happens to people? That's the premise anyways. And that's a question I always have. Like, why can't we keep in love? Why can't people overcomplicate relationships? And but I'm not going to get into any of that. I just thought it was like, okay, this could be really interesting. I want to see where this goes, and if the company's manipulating the situation. And they kind of play with that a little bit, where they start to make it seem like, are these people fucking with them? Are they not? Is this person crazy? Is this person not? This kind of stuff. But I felt like all of it was extremely unexplored. Like everything that they started to kind of touch upon, they pretty much abandoned. And towards the end, I just kept feeling like questions that were brought up were not really being answered. And the direction in which they went with it in the end, like especially in the last like half or last third, I didn't like at all. I was like, oh, you went this route with it? Lame. I think this could have been much more interesting had they grounded it much more in like what we know to be reality. Like just very straight across the board. It's an experiment by these scientists, and maybe they're fucking with them, maybe they're not. Just watching the deterioration of people who are put into a claustrophobic environment with a person they barely even know, during a new stage where it's maybe like, well, who the hell did I marry? And maybe this person isn't the person that I thought they were, and questioning what they've done. Like there's so much wonderful stuff to explore here, and I feel like this film explores almost none of it. Like very, very little of it. The performances in the movie are all fine. Fine. They're fine. They're not terrible. They're not good. Or I shouldn't say good. They're not great. But I don't know. Maybe I feel like it's almost the film's fault for that. Like the directions that they go with everything. I think I was rolling my eyes at so many decisions that they were making that I stopped paying attention to the performances. So I'm not really going to put this on the shoulders of the actors, as more of like the writing and the directing of the film, where it's just like, okay, so mostly the writing though. I'm gonna put almost all the blame on the writing. I just did not like any directions that this film took. So that's my own personal preference, though. I think that it would have been a much better exploration of the mental state of people put into a situation like this, and to leave things maybe a little bit more ambiguous, play around with the psychological aspects of things more. But that's just not the film they were trying to make. It goes more into a sci-fi route, and I didn't care for that at all. And that doesn't mean that they couldn't have been executed properly, this idea. I just think that even if this could have been executed properly, it just wasn't. And but yeah, so I didn't care for this one much at all. I was very much looking forward to it ending, And yeah, obviously not one I'm recommending. So I watched 3 movies yesterday. 2 I really liked or loved, and this was the last film for the night. So I definitely did not save the best for last. So what a shame, because with the premise I was like, ooh, this could be really cool. This could be really, really cool. It was not. It was not for me. So anyways.